Hey, good morning, everybody. It is episode 342, and it is Monday morning. I don't know why I said Monday. And today it's about being the smartest person in the room. And I know this, everybody says it, but it's so true. And the way I'm going to structure it here is yesterday, who did you speak to? Saturday, who did you speak to? The last couple of days, who did you speak to? The last week, who did you speak to? Was you the dumbest person in the conversation? No? Well, guess what? You failed. I think that was from Billie Jean. I'm sure I did. Well, you failed. You really did. Nobody likes to be the likes to be the dumbest person in the room. Nobody at all. When I first went to the mastermind meeting with Dan Bradbury, I was nervous as hell. And there was all talking profit and loss, cash flow, and there was all talking balance sheets. And I was like, oh my God, I'm well out of my depth here. I'm well out of my depth. I'm going to hate this. And when we started talking, I thought, do you know what? Everybody's going to be better than me. Everyone's going to know more than me. Holy shit, was I right? Holy shit, was I right? Every single goddamn person in that room knew more than me about accounting. And I was like, oh shit. And I felt terrible. I felt terrified. I felt really belittled. I felt like I wasn't good enough, like I didn't belong. But guess what? Come 15 months later, and I'm not saying to take 15 months, but it was a gradual thing. That was the best room I should be in. It was the room to be in because it made me take me out my little bubble in Beverly, thinking I know about accounts and stuff. Didn't know jack. Didn't know absolutely nothing. And so it was the right room to be in. But the problem, what you've got to do is you've got to leave the ego at the door. Strive for the rooms, for the conversations where you are not the smartest, that you are not the best in the room. And that just don't go for accounting or business or finance. It goes for being the fittest, being the slimmest, being the nicest, being the richest. I've got a friend, Tom, who runs, literally does a marathon every day nearly. Well, not quite, but not far off. He runs 10 plus miles a day. It's like nuts. Much more, 15 miles a day. And I used to think, before I met Tom, I used to think, I do 2 miles a day. And do you know what that has done? Me talking to Tom when I met Tom, he was one of the dads and stuff. And I was like, holy shit. Because if you limit your beliefs, if you're like in a circle, like nobody I know goes running every single day. And so me doing 2 miles a day, I was like, yeah, champion, 2 miles a day. And then I met Tom, who does like 15 miles a day or 10 to 15 miles a day. I'm like, shit, you can do more, Dean. You can do more. And so I slowly but surely increasing it all the time. Every single day, every single week, I try to run more. Because it's pushing my beliefs that what I'm capable of, what should be done. And the problem is, if we stay in that little circle where you are the smartest in the room, then guess what? Everybody else in that room is improving, but you. So really, are you the smartest in the room, or are you just the smartest, dumbest, the smartest dumb person in the room? And yeah, it's the ego thing. We all love to be in those rooms and situations and circumstances where we feel comfortable, where we feel at home, where we don't feel challenged or just a little bit of challenge. But that's not the correct place to be. The correct place to be is where you feel vulnerable, where you don't feel the smartest, where you know you have to improve to fit in. And like I say, it's not just, it's a gym you go to. It's the people you speak to. It's a pub you go to. It's your friends. It's everything. And I'm not saying dump your loser friends, although it could be a good decision. That dump your loser friends, I'm 100% behind that. But I know that it sounds a bit horrible, does that? But I would suggest that, I said this before, if you're in a room with 9 millionaires, there's 10 of you in a room, and you're in a room with 9 millionaires, guess what? You will be the 10th millionaire in that room at some point. If you're in a room with 9 jobless bums, and that's the people you hang around with most, and there's 10 of you in a room, you will become that 10th jobless bum. We get elevated by the people around us, the people we surround ourselves with. And it really is true that you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with, that you speak to most. Who are those 5 people? And are you happy being the average of those 5? If not, go to another conversation, go to another room. Just spend more time. Like, for example, podcasts for me count. I'm listening to podcasts all the time. I'm listening to marketers all the time. I'm listening to inspirational speakers. And why? Because I want to elevate me and what I believe is possible. Because the problem is that so many of us, and I say this to my wife all the time, people have got limiting beliefs about what's possible and what's not possible. But there is no limiting beliefs. I keep getting phone calls galore from work at the minute. So there is no limiting beliefs. There is no limit on what you can do, what you can achieve, unless you spend time with these people who have got limiting beliefs. So please audit who you spend time with and look at the conversations you are in. And you want to be the dumbest person in the room. If you're not, you need to find a new conversation. You need to find a new room. And by the way, FYI, I'm still one of the dumbest people in the room when it comes to accounts in that mastermind, but I'm getting there. I'm starting to understand more than I did last time. I'm certainly better now than I would be if I wasn't in that room. So for me, it's worth every uncomfortable moment, even though it doesn't bloody feel like it when you get asked a question. So leave your ego at the door, my friends. Tomorrow, we're talking why 99% of people suck at stuff. See you later. Bye-bye.